Hello there. In many applications today, you will find that you will need to use lists, and these are just collections of data that is scrollable when it does not fit on the screen. So lists are used to display, let me say in a supermarket, I'm displaying what I'm selling, so I can just list it, just in a normal list that we know. Then, and in every other applications, I can use lists. So in this lesson today, we are going to look at on how to use lists. In our normal applications that we've been doing, we have been choosing an activity, the first activity being an empty activity. But for this class, just for this class, we are going to choose the basic activity. And in the basic activity, we shall expect to find an action floating button. We shall also expect to find one menu item, and then some small text that can be hello world. So these are already designed in the layout. So let us choose that layout and then continue with our studying. So when you open, you will realize that you're going to find a Java class that contains what we have already talked about, a menu, contains a floating button, and others. So when I go to my resources, you will realize that in my resources, I have, in the layout, I have two layout files for this activity. One is activity main and then content main. They are both XML files. So in activity, it contains that layout of the whole activity. And here we are having a coordinator layout, we are having a toolbar, we are having a floating action button, and then when you go to our content, realize that we just have a text view that is on a relative layout. So whatever we can want to put inside our activity shall be put in the content main.xml. So then the content main.xml, to put it on our main activity, what we do is we use this statement that says include layout, and then we specify the layout to be the content main where we are designing our content. So now to create a list view, I will go to my values. When I go to my values, I will right click, and when I right click, I will choose new, then I'll come to file, and I'll give it a name like our list.xml, and in this case I already have it, so you just press enter and you continue. So now, like me, I already have mine, so here I'll just open it, so it's empty. I'll open the tags, and I open the tags, we need this because it is a default. Press enter to go there, like that. So then I'll come in, and here I'm going to say resources, and then I'm going to be dealing inside the resources, and inside the resources I'm going to say string array, which is already here suggested, because a string array, most especially when I aim at the array, it is something that is going to store data in a fixed order. So I want, since I'm going to give very many list items, so I need an array that is going to store them in a fixed order. So I'll say string array and give it a name. Let us give it our items. To be better, we use an underscore. So after this, I can close, and by closing, it will give me the closing tag. So everything I'm going to do is going to be in this string array. So I'll give the first item by saying item. Let us call it item 1, item 1. Then let us give another item to be we call it, let's say, item 2. So now we can copy this and paste it for all the number of items that we may need. If we have 100 items, then we shall use 100 item tags here. So let us say this is 7. Let us make it like 12. Let's call this 8. Let's call this 9. Let us call this 10. We can call this 12 and this 11. So we now have our items already that we want to be displayed in our activity. So I will press Ctrl Alt plus L to reformat my code to make it a bit more readable. So from there, now this is enough for the new file that we have created, which is our items. So from there I will go to my activity main, and since we said that we are going to be editing the content, so I'll go to my content main. So we have a text view. Let us get rid of this text view, and when you go to design and see how our things are going to be displayed, we can first eliminate this so that we can get the preview of what we are doing, and we can also look for right here. We need a preview to see what we are doing. So now let us add in a list view by typing L. I'll get a list view, and we are not going to use wrap content because we want our list view to fill the whole available space. So we shall use match parent and match parent. After putting that, our list view is already there. So let us give it an ID. Let's give it, sorry, it is better we put it up here. Give it an ID of, let's call it, let's give it list view, and this is the ID of our list view. So now this is enough for the XML2. Now the remaining part is going to be done in our Java. So when I got in my Java code, I'll need to go to my onCreate method. So it is here. Let us begin our stuff right here in the onCreate. So the aim is to get the data from the resource that we have created, the resource file that is in values, and then we want to pass it to the list view component that we have added in on our XML files. So to do this, we are going to do it in like four statements, and these statements are going to help us to get the data and then put it in our list view. So first of all, let us create a string. We are going to create a string array. So after creating our string array, let us give it a name to be, let's call it items, and then we are going to get reference to a method called get resources, and then we shall call the get string array method. And inside here we are going to pass in the ID or the name of our file that we created. So the name is our items, and this name is going to be working still as our ID. So when I go back to my Java code, I will say r dot. So if we are using just a simple string, we shall say r dot string, but since we are using an array of strings, then we shall say r dot array, and then we shall say dot our items, which is the name and the ID that we have given the other side. So after this statement, now we shall need to create an adapter, the array adapter, and the array adapter is going to help us to bind the data to the list. So what we are going to do is we shall say array adapter, and array adapter has a generic decoration, and this we shall say string. So let us call our object adapter, and then we are going to instantiate it. So we are going to instantiate it with new array adapter, and inside here we are going to still put our generic decoration. So inside, the arguments that we have are going to be so many, and one of them is the activity from where we are doing this, and this is our main activity. So I can say main activity dot this, and then I'm going also to reference to another layout file, and this layout file is not a layout file that we created ourselves. It is a layout file that comes with the Android SDK, and this layout, to get anything that comes with the Android SDK, we shall begin with Android. Dot r. Let us break it from here. Android dot r, and we say dot layout, and then when you press the dot notation, we shall have the different layouts that are found in what we have specified right here, and we are interested in a simple list one layout, so we shall just say enter. So this simple list one layout is an already designed and developed ListView that is in the Android SDK. So when I hold down my control button and click on it, it will take me to itself, and this one, it is only containing just one text view right here. So this is the other layout file that we have checked, that we said it is found in the SDK. So when you realize that it has an ID of text1 right here, so after seeing that, we can now close it and go back to our Java. So now after seeing that, now we are going to say, I'm going to put a command say, then still shall say Android, I want it to be visible properly, so I will say Android dot r dot id, and you're going to use the ID of this very layout that we have just seen, and that ID is dot text1. It was called text1. So for that now we can also now bring our how we named our object, and we named it, when I check, we named it items here, our variable. So I'll come and say items. So now at this level we are done with our array adapter. So now we shall need to get a reference to our list view that we have added to our layout the other side. So I will say list view. After saying list view, I'll create an object for it. Let us say list view. After creating the object, I'll say find view by ID, and right here I'll say r.id dot list view. Here we are getting the ID of the list view that we included in our content main, this one. So this is the ID that we are using. So that list view. So after doing that, can close. Now it's time to set our adapter to display the data. So we shall say list view dot set adapter, and we're going to pass in the adapter object. So after doing this, I will still say Ctrl-Alt-L to reformat and make the code readable. So then I'm going to run this application on a physical device to see how it behaves. So I'll click run after connecting it. Click OK. Yes. So when we try to test our application on a physical device, you will realize that we are having our layout that we had the other time, and then it has brought the other resource that we created, and this resource is containing list items that we declared in that file. So it went and picked it and then put it on our list view. So we can see the items that we created and they are on the list view. So for this class, this is what we were aiming at, and we have achieved it. So in the next class we shall learn about something else that is so important also in application development. Thank you.